If you want to check out different content from myself, I've just set up a second channel where I'm going to post fitness and things. The link for that will be in the description. And of course, if you want to avoid the random lottery of FIFA points, you want to go straight to the source, buy the players directly, use u7buy.com and use the code TVM at checkout. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I have got a very small list. There are more players, but again, because FIFA is a little while away, we need to sort of break it up a little bit. I have a list of broken cards from FIFA 20. At least they were broken for me. I'm talking about players who could score ridiculous goals, who could bundle their way through, who are just insane for absolutely no inexplicable reason. Up first, a player that we've mentioned recently, and of course, team of the season, Mahrez. I mentioned his 87 in form in like my favourite players. The team of the season, in my opinion, is obviously better than the inform, and he could do some pretty amazing stuff. I actually packed him, I think I've packed him twice, but I packed him on my quote-unquote main account. I don't know why I call it my main. It's my FIFA point account, really, because it's not my main account. I barely play any games on it, but either way, I packed him on that account, which was slightly unfortunate, really, because, like I said, I didn't really play that much on it. I packed him and Aubameyang in the space of like 2 or 3 days, which was awesome, but at the same time, a little bit of a shame, because they just didn't get used as much as they would do had I packed them on my Road to Glory account. But Mahrez is one of those cards that just comes out of nowhere. He could do nothing for 89 minutes, and then in the final minute of the game, pops up with one of the best goals you've ever seen, wins you the game, and it's just one of those situations, one of those cards that you can rely on to get you a goal or to create a moment of something. And he doesn't necessarily do anything for the rest of the game. Great goal from him there when he takes half the team on. I'm not sure there's any in the review, but I would have had to have trawled through about 27 other reviews to find it. But he does score. I mean, there's one there, kind of. But he does score his fair share of finesses from outside the area. Moving on to Munyain. 89 rated. Managed to snipe this guy. He was around 190,000 coins at the time. And as you can see, I bought him for about 35k. And the reason for that is because I was looking for a player that I could review, and I just searched up Munyain just to see what the cheapest one on the market was, and someone had listed him for minimum, so I snapped him up, ended up selling him for about 150k as well, so I made a nice bit of profit on him. But this guy was, I mean, he could be in several videos, right? So he's criminally underrated, but he's also a little bit broken. He has some of the best finesse shots in the business. Now, we're talking about Mahrez, and Mahrez is one of those players you can rely on for finesse shots, 100%. I love Mahrez's finesse shots, but also Munyain's finesse shots are something to behold. He can score goals from any angle. He's of course a cam 4-2-3-1 in this formation, and he pops up with late runs into the penalty area to allow you to score goals like that. And of course he hovers in and around the edge of the penalty area when you go forward with your winger or your striker, and you can, you know, drag it back to him, for example, and then just go for goal from there. But he has an awful lot to offer. These days, is he as good as you need him to be? I'm not sure. That was a poor effort on goal, but he did really well to break the back line, get into that position in the first place, and you're about to start seeing some finesses flying. So dances around the edge of the penalty area, gets into the area, and then just scores a really good goal. I mean, just completely bamboozles the defenders, puts them on their backsides. But is he good enough these days? I'm not quite sure. Maybe I should go and pick him up and see if I can do what I did. I mean, there's a failed finesse there, but don't worry, because it's coming. And it's not going to be that impressive, this finesse shot, because, I mean, that's quite simple to score, right? But he does it so often. Kamada was an SBC player who was arguably one of the best in the game. He was so good, and not many people completed this. Not because he was too expensive, because I don't think he was, to the point where I'm going to go have a look to see how much he was in terms of an SBC. But, yeah, about 100k. So, I mean, in terms of a 91 rated card that was actually like a 93 without a chem style point per position, that's actually really good. But what I really liked about him was that nobody knew, A, who he was, and B, nobody wanted to complete him because they didn't really know anything about him. And a 91 rated card at the time where, you know, you started getting your 92s, 93s, and for 100,000 coins, there probably were cards out there at the time that were as good as Kamada. But, and it's a big but, this guy was absolutely incredible. I regret giving him up now. I put him into an SBC because he didn't fit the team that I had anymore. But this card was fun because, again, his positioning was really good. He could dance around defenders as if they weren't even there. If you look at his stats, they are really good, but you wouldn't expect him to be maybe as good as he was. But his ball control was absolutely incredible. And there's a little clip for Munyain dotted in there as well. But his stats weren't the best. I mean, they're decent, don't get me wrong. He's got 99 finishing shot power, 94 agility, very high acceleration. But, you know, some dodgy stats here or there, but just so good and clinical. He got so many goals for me. You'd have seen it at the beginning, 14 goals in 5 games. That record basically continued the entire way through. But he was more of a facilitator for me in the end. Started using him to get assists more than I did goals. But, I mean, look at the state of that for a finish. Moving on to a player that a lot of you won't remember, and that is Evander. Now, in terms of broken cards, this doesn't quite top the list, but it would top the list of underrated broken cards, that's for damn sure. Because this guy was one of the most fun 5-star skillers I think I've ever used in any FIFA. So he fit well into this sort of almost full Brazilian team, with a lot of decent players in there as well. Zambrotta ruining the aesthetic, but other than that, you know, it's a full Brazilian side. He was unbelievably fun to use. Now, I hate playing against people who do what I do in this game and in these clips in general, and that is to quite literally skill every time you get the ball with a player with 5-star skills. But that's exactly what Evander made you want to do. Now, he has a 4-star weak foot as well. He doesn't have great sprint speed. He didn't have very good reactions or composure. His positioning was questionable. And his strength was non-existent. He had relatively good defensive stats considering as well. But I used him more as a cam. And my God, did he score some good goals. Did he create some good chances. And did I have a lot of fun with him. Is he broken? I mean, maybe not these days. At the time, I was thinking maybe he was a little bit. He seemed to bundle his way through an awful lot of things that maybe other players wouldn't get through. Don't really know why, because of the lack of strength. But also his skills were so good. And when you look at the likes of Neymar and such, they're fun to use. But Evander, for some reason, he hit a little bit different. I seem to get away with a lot more in terms of skills. And one of the goals that he scored as well, I mean, it had me clapping almost. That's a really good move there. Got the assist. But this goal coming up had me clapping. I don't know why. I guess it's because it's slightly unusual. You don't often see goals like this. I mean, you do from maybe the big guys, but you don't score goals like this very often. Brilliant move there. And he hits it on the half volley from outside the area. And he's not even left-footed. That is a great goal. And that will complete a very short list of players who I thought were broken. Maybe slightly underrated in some cases as well. We're going to talk about the likes of Munyain, Kamada, and Evander. I know Mahrez isn't underrated, but he's still a bit of a broken card. His finesse shots are insane. I've got plenty more. We're obviously leaving out the obvious ones here, Ryan Kent and so on. But if you want to see more of this type of video, all you have to do is hit the like button, and we will continue with these list type of videos in the next couple of days. If you have enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, let me know who you think is a broken card in the comment section down below, and until the next time, goodbye.
Football Index, the game changed. Download the app now.